Hey guys, Brett Eikenbary, Eikenbary Landscape Company. Welcome back to another Pro Tip Tuesday. Today we're talking about leveling holes in your lawn, leveling low spots. We get a lot of calls, maybe 1 or 2 a week, on lawn leveling, seeding projects, things of that nature. So I thought I'd just do a little video. We get some questions sometimes from your do-it-yourselfers that just say, hey, I want to do this, what's the best way? So I thought, hey, why not make it a pro tip? So what we have here is just a couple low areas that obviously you can tell, hopefully by the video, this is a little higher. I'll throw our leveling rake up so you can see, but as you can see already, we're just ending the end of May and the ground is cracked. This is hard. If we would just throw seed down here, it probably would have trouble taking, especially going into June, into July, the hotter and drier months. And it would still be low. So even though the grass would come in, it would still be low. So what we're gonna do to remedy that is we're gonna get some better topsoil that I have here in the wheelbarrow. And the key to doing this is to make sure you have some good, nice topsoil. This is screen topsoil. We use this for when we install our garden beds and things of that nature. It is a little wet. It was sitting out and had gotten rained on a few times. So, but you can see when this stuff is dried out, it is super fine. You can kind of see how it's fallen through. And these clumps are not hard rocks or junky stuff. It's very, very nice topsoil to work with. So that's one of the keys. The sandier, the finer that your topsoil is, the better off you're going to be. So, real quick here to let you know, we'll take our leveling rake that we'll use here, and we're going to set it here right over this area roughly. I'll just set it right here, and you can see roughly from the bottom of this bar, we are probably that much lower than the grade is right now. So that's a decent amount. So going back to what I said earlier, if we would just throw seed in here and, you know, pray to the rain gods that we get rained on, you know, it's not going to be good. You just know it. It's not going to work. So we'll talk about that, what steps we're going to do to help give our grass seed the best chance to get started. I talked about the quality of topsoil. We're just going to get roughly a shovel full. In each hole. Now, what I like to do next is step on it. As I showed you earlier how fine this topsoil is, what's going to happen is we're going to get a lot of settling. So if you kind of stomp it down a little bit, work it in there a little bit with your feet. Obviously there's machines and equipment for bigger areas, but these little small spots like this, you can just step on it, stomp on it. Think about that boss at work that you just had a bad day dealing with, or maybe that mother-in-law that's driving you nuts. Just kidding, Vicky. So once, and I don't know if this is going to work or not, you can see it's sticking in my boots, it might be a little wet, but once you get it packed down in, you can go ahead and put your next layer on. And what the principle of this is basically just to slowly, maybe an inch or 2 at a time, build that up. Half inch, whatever you want to say. Build that up a little bit till you get to the top to where we can rake it out. So we'll go ahead, so that's kind of somewhat where we want it. We'll throw another shovelful in there. One of the biggest mistakes that people make, and I've made it myself, is estimating how much topsoil you need. you look at a little area and you think, oh, I'm going to be at Lowe's this afternoon, I'll just pick up a couple bags of topsoil. Topsoil doesn't go that long, especially the finer stuff that you're going to use. And in order to do this right, you want to get the whole area so it's level. So if you just have a little bit in each one, there's still going to be that unevenness, there's still going to be those dips. So in this case, what I'm going to do to try to make this work for this video is break up some of these wet clumps. And I don't know if we'll have to come back to this, give it a drying process or not, but we'll give this a shot. So this next step here is just pretty much the same exact thing as we did before. We're just building in that to prevent a bunch of settling with the topsoil. Now guys, if you got to do this all the time, this is what I would do. In the winter, I'd go and do bulking for projects like this. So, you know, all the pizza, all the beer you can drink, just piled in the winter. You know, if your wife says anything, just tell her, hey, it's for the lawn projects, right? If you put on a little bit of weight, you're going to be able to put a little bit more down pressure on these dirt piles, and end results are going to be better. So most wives want that pretty lawn. They're just going to have to sacrifice a little bad nutrition for a while to get there. So. All right. And again, we're getting pretty close here to where we're going to be. I just don't know if we're going to be able to smooth it out that well, as wet as it is, but we'll keep working at it. So now we've done that twice. I would say that's probably pretty close. And some people say, well, they might ask, why do you want to pack that down? I thought in order to get that grass to grow. As fine as this topsoil is, and if you start with a good quality topsoil and you jump on it, you know, a couple 100 pounds jumping up and down is not going to hurt that stuff. A lot of times you could even run like a light roller or something over it, because you want soil to seed contact. That's going to be your biggest thing to give you your best chance for your grass to get growing. So just by stepping down on it like that and jumping up and down a little bit, or rolling over it, or even a four-wheeler or something, packing it down, it will not hurt anything. Again, at the beginning of this video, I kind of showed you the depth and the size of these dips or these holes, and you can see we've almost used probably a decent half amount of the wheelbarrow. It was really full. So, like I said earlier, always plan for using more topsoil than you think you're going to need. Okay, this is a 36-inch leveling rake that we recently bought. If you don't have one of these, don't worry about going out and getting one. We have it because this is stuff we do all the time. So you can also use just a standard hard rake from your garden center or local hardware, and use the back side of it. And sometimes these are really handy, and we use these a lot. We'll take this side that has the tines on it to get clumps out, you know, or stones if we're working with a lower quality grade of topsoil. But for something like this, all you'd really need was this back part right here to lay down and just kind of start moving this around. We'll try it with the leveling rake. If we don't get anywhere, we'll leave it sit and dry out, and we'll come back to it. not too bad. It's not too good either. But you can see as I'm going different directions, that won't normally happen if you have a little softer, finer stuff to work with. Because it's dry. What you want to do is you want to hit it from different directions, and you want to come out. See, as you can tell, I'm coming out into here. That's to feather that in. And just by looking at it, I see there's some dips right in here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more shovelfuls and keep working this around. Where that dip was, I'm going to kind of smash that down a little bit. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. And again, this is just this area. You can get as thorough as you want. We're doing this small area right here, and obviously this is the same concept. If you were going to do your whole front yard, there is some bigger equipment and machines and things like that that help aid in the process. Obviously, this would be pretty time consuming. It could be done, over a weekend or something like that. Get your favorite adult beverage and wheelbarrow and shovel and just chip away at it. So I'm going to go ahead and rake this out. And then you could take your rake and rest it right over top, and you can see now throughout here across this area, I'm pretty much touching everywhere on top of this area that's getting ready for seed. So again, as I notice, as I work a little further this way, I'm seeing that there is some dips here, and that's something that we can go ahead and fill in and keep working that way. For timing of this video and things of that nature, I hope you guys can kind of get the idea of what we're trying to do here. So hopefully this helps. What we'll do is we'll let this dry out a little bit. I might clean up some of the edges, some of the clumps, and we'll do a video on spot seeding so you can see how we come back in then and what we would do with an area like this after we prepare it this way. So I hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Eikenbary Landscape Company Pro Tip Tuesday. We'll see you next time.